Good evening, folks. Good evening. Good evening. It's your boy Malcolm. I'm here with you guys today. Oh, almost forgot. Let me hit the intro music. Mm, Oh, I had the loop track on. My bad, folks. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is your Sunday sit down, Malcolm. Thank you guys for tuning in. Tonight, we're going over a couple things. Right now, it's the most recent chapter of Jujutsu Kaisen. For all you guys that left off a couple chapters ago, Yuta and Gojo swatch bodies. Gojo is pretty much dead. He's dead. And Yuta used I forgot the characters, but the little boy with the blanket, he has the ability to switch people's souls willingly if they give him permission to. Long story short, so he switched bodies with Gojo and is now trying to fight Sukuna. Unfortunately, there are certain things that just ain't hitting right. As you can see here, Rika is still, for those who don't know, Rika is the familiar that Yuta uses to copy multiple curse techniques and stuff of that nature. Hmm? Oh, pop up. Watch out, guys. Sorry about that, guys. I try to keep my pop up blocker on for most things, but some things I can't. But long story short, Rika is not with Gojo at the moment. Yuta, who's now in Gojo's body. So he's using just his own fighting abilities as well as Gojo's limitless technique as well, and the six eyes. First, let me say this: reading into the chapter, I don't know how they plan on finishing the series finale for Jujutsu Kaisen, but there has to be like a spin-off series based off this because there's no way that hmm, uh, a notification on my computer. But what was that? Yeah, I don't know how they plan to wrap up the series, but they need to find a way to like address this whole elephant in the room where the sorcerers have pretty much destroyed like a big chunk of Japan. I know leading into like the showdown with Kenjaku and Sukuna and stuff, they had like two or three chapters where Kenjaku went over to the Americans and pretty much slaughtered like the presidential cabinet and stuff like that using a cursed spirit. So there's going to be a huge fallout following this. And from what I know, currently in the story, all the jujitsu higher ups have been killed. Gojo's dead. Pretty much what remaining structure or hierarchy there was in the jujitsu world is, I would say, is gone. Pretty much, it's the final countdown. They're trying to kill Sukuna by any means necessary. So, as we continue with the fight, it's pretty much just a bare knuckles, hand to hand, fisticuffs fight. Gojo or slash Yuta, I'm gonna get confused with this, but just remember, Yuta is in Gojo's body. They swap bodies. It's a straight up fist fight. Sukuna is using domain amplification to nullify Gojo's limitless ability which stops people from coming into contact with him and touching him. So, or infinite void, however, I know that he has like two or three different abilities all at once simultaneously. But currently, that's how it is. Sukuna is using domain amplification to stop the limitless or infinite void. And because of that, Yuta slash Gojo has to just fight him straight one on one in a fist fight. Well, with cursed energy and stuff like that. Let me go ahead and stop sharing for a minute just to scroll on over. Uh, I don't own any of the images or comics I'm showing, so I have to be a little bit discreet on what panels and pages I show due to graphic violence and certain things of that nature. But as I'm going through the fight and stuff like that, how would I say it? From the stance of Yuta, it's just fighting in Gojo's body is different. It's not the same that he's used to doing because I think Yuta is like 5'6", 5'7", and Gojo is like 6'4", 6'5". So let me see. 6'5". Yeah, you got about, there's a reach difference, height, and probably just equilibrium. Now that I think about it. So he's still getting used to, what was it? The curse technique. There, that's the easier way to say it. He's getting used to the curse technique of Gojo Yuta, who currently switch bodies with Gojo. Yeah, I know it's a lot to keep in mind, but it's the way the author kind of wants you to think about it. So let me see. Where's a good place to take it back? So where? mm, okay, so I'll bring it back to this one now. Sorry if I'm jumping around from panel to panel, but there's only certain panels I can show. So as it's going currently, Sukuna is able to stop Yuta slash Gojo from using his infinite void techniques such as red, uh, blue, purple, and stuff like that. He has color coded techniques. With the color coded techniques, he doesn't know how to use them just naturally like Gojo. So he actually has to chant or do the incantation and then do the hand sign like Naruto and all that stuff. There's chanting and incantations. So Sukuna is able to stop him from using this stuff basically by keeping the pressure on him on a fist fight. Let me go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and move over to the next chapter. Well, next page. So let me see if I can shrink this down so you guys. All right, here we go. Readjusted screen. So boom. Here we go towards the climax of the battle. Yuta slash Gojo uses blue to pull in. The blue is basically the ability to attract. Red is the ability to push. So think of Pain from Naruto with the push and pull, push, almighty pull. It's a magnetic, attractive, and it's attractive and repulsive force. So blue, it's attracting, pulling everything towards him. And you see here we have the tape recorder. Sorry, I was about to call it a cell phone, but it's a tape recorder. You have the tape recorder, and someone is saying, "Don't move." All right, let's stop that for a second. Go back, and sorry guys, I have to cut in between the panels because I am using online sources that may not be kosher with certain guides and regulations of Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and other streaming platforms that may be sharing this video. So back to it again, and here we are. So it is Inumaki, the guy with the curse speech. You can see here he's pretty much bleeding from the mouth from the way curse speech works with him. If he says it against a very strong opponent or someone with a lot of cursed energy, it can physically hurt his throat. Like he'll cough up blood and stuff like this. So by using the tape recorder, he was able to freeze Sukuna in place, which gives I I know they have the speech bubbles and stuff here in between, but it allows him to say 9 points, polarized light, crow, and shamio, the gap between within and without, hollow technique, purple. I know I'm gonna sound like a total dweeb when I say this, but do you guys remember when like Naruto was supposed to include chanting? Like that fight between Kakashi and Zabuza when they do all the water signs and they're chanting. Could you imagine having to do that? I know in these like final chapters, they're really pushing home like the power system and all the different crazy things you can do. But as a reader, I don't think they really focused enough on the verbal chanting or incantations that they use in Jujutsu Kaisen. Like this would have been a good, I don't know. I feel like in a way they could have took some notes from Bleach and actually came up with some type of like base spell casting system. I mean, I know it takes away from the individual like uniqueness of each sorcerer or sorcerer family and their techniques, but they're really driving home the point of this like incantations, curse speech, and just the verbal aspect of getting the curse technique out. Before, like, there wasn't really an emphasis on it. Sometimes you had like Mahito, who could just touch things and transfigure them. You had Toto with Boogie Woogie being able to clap his hands and change places with items or things and people. So, well, in a way, I guess it makes sense. It's showing a new age form of sorcery compared to the old age where they would use incantations, hand signs, and stuff like that more oftenly. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the Jujutsu Kaisen. I thought the chapter was nice, especially coming off the heels of the I think Gege was sick for some time and needed to recover. So I'm happy we got a new chapter, and I'm happy he is recovering well. What are your predictions for the next chapter going forward? I think personally, they're going to do another, like, I was going to curse, but I'm not going to curse. I think they're going to pull the rug out from under us and somehow find a way for Sukuna not to die from this hollow purple, because in theory, it should pretty much be enough to win the fight. If you guys remember the first fight when Sukuna was still in his like Megumi form using the 10 shadows technique, he basically beat him using purple, and then he used the world cutting slash to beat him, and then there was a lot of binding vows and stuff that just I'm not gonna lie, Gege overused the binding vows in this last part of the series to the point where it it really just feels like if you want to cheat the system, just make a binding vow, which in the context of the story is you just make a promise or you put a restriction on yourself. If you could compare it to like Hunter x Hunter, think of it as like a Nen restriction or a complication. So in this case, the default complication is, or restriction is, you can cast purple without necessarily saying the whole incantation, 9 points, polarized light, crow, and all that stuff. Or you can just do the hand sign, focus your energy, and fire off the technique. One that will be less potent than if you actually said the whole incantation plus the hand sign and then fired the technique. So you're basically firing it off at half strength. If you do the whole process, incantation, hand sign, you get maximum output. So I think a good way to describe a binding vow would be to say this. So what Sukuna did earlier when he did the world cutting slash, in order to cut the entire fabric of reality, he made a binding vow or a restriction that whenever he used his dismantle or cleave, he had to make the hands. Oh, hold on, I gotta pop up. I know, guys. I should have pop up blocker, but with some of these scan sites, you can't really read the panel with like pop up blocker on, so you have to take it off. But let me put this up for a second. Said blood spurted just on its own. I'm trying to explain too much, but yeah, Scuda basically just has to make the hand sign and you know make the incantation and the hand sign, and then he can do his dismantle cuts and or cleave cuts. However, his cutting technique is set up. He now has to say the incantation and do the hand sign, which was like the whole point of them cutting off his other arm or arbs. He has like 4 arms. Four. You guys have to excuse me. I'm a little stuffed up here. Tonight's stream, once again, brought you by Crown Royal, the blackberry flavor. My girlfriend was so sweet. So sweet. She brought me, actually bought me a bottle of it because she knew I liked it. It's one of those, I call it, I call it a whiskey you could sip. You know, you don't really need a chaser, just like 2 ice cubes. Pour a little bit on the rocks, so you're good. You don't really need a chaser. But with that chapter over with, pretty much, I think look out next upcoming Thursday or Friday for the new chapter leaks. I'll probably put a video out Wednesday or Thursday. I will try to. I can't make any full promises. Sometimes my schedule gets hectic. Um, but on to the next story. John Cena announces official retirement from wrestling, declaring the next WrestleMania will be his last. Um, I would clap a little bit more loudly, but my girl's asleep. I'm trying to let her rest. She's got to go to work. I got to go to work too in the morning, but I got to get this video out. So here I am. But yeah, John Cena announces his retirement. Shout out to John Cena. I think he's had like some of the longest title reigns in WWE history. He pretty much has been the face of WWE for a long time. Um, Pre Roman Reigns. For a lot of my diehard wrestling fans that are still into it, we all know like Mr. McMahon has been pushing the hell out of Roman Reigns for so long, just like with Brock Lesnar. Essentially, Roman Reigns was the replacement to Brock Lesnar when, I mean, it pretty much panned out that Brock Lesnar wasn't going to be the exact fit. Even though I give Lesnar his credit, he is like all around like a well-rounded superstar as a wrestler. But I don't know, for something he didn't have that pop. Um, to describe it better, when I say pop with wrestlers, you have to catch the crowd. You have to, latch on, have the crowd latch on to you as a character. Like with like Booker T, it was the Spinneroonie, and can you dig it, sucker? Like it was the personality, it was the character that they fell in. Same with Hulk Hogan, Sting, um, what was Eddie Guerrero? Like it's the character that they fall in love with. Uh, I'm definitely gonna drink me some tea before I go to bed tonight. But I mean, all respect to John Cena. I watched a lot of his matches growing up. I come to think of it, let me see if I can show a few clips here. Um, Copyright disclaimer: this is all fair use. I don't own anything. All footage is the property of the WWE. I'm just trying to show like one or two scenes real quick. All right, let me go ahead. Okay, so like one thing about John Cena is he has that character of like what they call him. Sorry, let me grab this. All right, so with John Cena, the captain of Hustlenomics, Word Life, what I'm not even going to try and recall all those things. It was kind of cheesy, that white gangster persona he came out with. That it was kind of, yeah, it was kind of overdue. Well, overdone, I'd say, especially because he's really a likable dude in person. A lot of these wrestlers are the complete opposite to their in-ring persona. But let's watch the video. Oh my God! No, you gotta be kidding me! Cena had both men open. There's the attitude of the star of the big show. Cena's league. Oh my God! 500-pound FU. 5 FU. Look at Cena.
Well, what can Cena do now? Oh my God! Oh my God! My God! John Cena!
Oh man, my back.
Cena!
My back.
Oh, the AA! The cover up. Cena's got him up. Can he deliver the AA to Strowman? He does. Hey, look at the power of Cena. An AA. He's got it with Strowman on his shoulders. An AA to Strowman. Oh, yes! No. Come on, Tenzai. Get down.
I don't even know who that was.
Oh, yes! 350 pounds.
Oh man. Oh man, that was crazy. But respect to John Cena. Sad to see him retire, but I'm happy he retired, and I'm happy he was retiring with all his, mental faculties and his physical body in shape. A lot of people forget, but a lot of these wrestlers have destroyed their bodies and in some ways destroyed their lives over the years with the rough lifestyle of the pro wrestler. Damn, babe, you didn't bring me a snack too? You good. I'm just joking on because I'm on stream. But shout out to Bay again. She was the one that bought me that bottle of Crown Royal that I'm currently enjoying. Let me see. We got John Cena covered. And to wrap it up, because I got to take my ass to bed. I got work in the morning. We have some sad news today. I'm getting this from the CW 34. A bicyclist died early Saturday morning after a Fort Pierce collision involving an off-duty St. Lucie County Sheriff's officer. According to the story, the officer was recently just off duty. He just got off earlier that morning around like 3 a.m. It was on Okeechobee Road on the outskirts of the city limits where this accident occurred. Dimly lit areas where they don't have much streetlights. Condolences to the bicyclist that passed. It's never a fun thing to go through death. A couple months ago, an old classmate of mine from Central was struck by an officer. And it's rest in peace to her and condolences to her family. Just to all bicyclists and people, out there at night, try to have reflective gear on. If you need to walk with a light or your phone light, the flashlight on your phone. Bicyclists try to have high reflective objects, flashers. I can't even think about reflective mirrors and things of that nature. Also, once again, my condolences go out to the bicyclist family. Thank you guys for tuning in with me for this stream. This has been the Sunday Sit Down. I'll try to upload another video later this week. And that's pretty much it. Thank you guys. Have a good night. And to everyone else getting up early tomorrow for work, have a good day. And don't forget the coffee or tea. I'm finna go make me some hot tea myself after this cup. Lord knows I've been stuffed up this whole stream. All right.